Alrighty, so it has been a long day trying to get this race in the books here, folks, and I think we finally hit onto something here. Third time's a charm. And obviously I did not have the original ticker. Maybe that had something to do with the constantly harder to run start to this race, was using the new overlay. I'm not sure about that one, but we're on our old overlay to try and crown a winner here today. 126 laps to go. Snake Plissken is your race leader, followed by Cannon Gage, Joey Johnson, Ralph Oberstadt, Billy Lovejoy, and Sebastian Galloway Jr. now up to 6th. Alex Sanvital in 7th, Jonah Burridge in 8th, Santi Messi in 9th, Philip Purpura in 10th, Lefty Turner 11th, 12th place is Tim Morse, 13th it is Kyler Sestre, 14th it is Finley Herwig, and 15th it is Eli the Wolf. I would try to show you some crashes of the wrecks here in the race, but I'm afraid of rewinding and screwing anything up, so we are just going to watch the conclusion of the race here, and hopefully nothing else goes to crap. As you can see, Cannon Gage closing in on the number 81 there of Snake Plissken for the race lead. Live points as they run right now. I can kind of give you a rundown where the points look. We don't have the ticker down below. But from my other computer, I can definitely keep an eye on the points as they run. So Cannon Gage would be your points leader at the moment. 1803 over Snake Plissken in his 1788. Sebastian back up into 6th, actually moves him up a little bit higher from his 7th place position. 7th to 6th is a 2-point swing. And with that 2 points, he is now 1769. He is slowly working his way up through the field. It seems like the longer the race goes on, the better his car gets. So he's getting back into the picture here, try and secure as many points with the finale around the corner. Obviously, 57 points is the amount you can gain max points day. And based on how everyone is running at the moment, there would only be 3 cars left for the title at Tri-City Raceway. It'll be down to Cannon Gage, Snake Plissken, and Sebastian Galloway Jr. if things continue trending in the direction that they're going right now. What's crazy is even though Ralph Oberstadt's running in the top 5, he was already far enough back in the point standings that he's going to need a little bit of bad luck from some of our top leaders here today to get back into the mix. And even though Snake Plissken leads the race, has led most, tied down at the moment. That's 5 bonus points. Not going to be quite enough to close that gap on Cannon Gage quite yet. So for Snake, he's hoping desperately that that he can get a little bit more ground made up here. Joey Johnson in 3rd. Even though he's 3rd, he is 4th in the points, but he's almost 100 points back. So yeah, I don't know what else we had to do differently other than maybe swapping the overlay, because this overlay must not be interfering with the game or something. But the biggest improvement I found was that I can clear the black flags and they don't have to honor them. So that is a huge adjustment. That would have fixed so many of the errors that we had for the first 2 attempts here today to get through this race. And this has been the cleanest version so far It's had some natural wrecks. We had a big wreck with Shy Turtle on 2 occasions. 2 of the 4 cautions were actually for Shy Turtle. From 3rd place, he got spun out by a lapped car, the 19 of Alan Malcolm. And I want to say it was the 10 of Justin Day2 that just ran right through him. And it cleaned out about 3 other cars, including Krista Cower, Chase Kovacic, and there was at least 1 more car involved. But big wreck, knocked out 3 chase contenders, even though Chase Kovacic and Krista Cower were eliminated rolling into this race here today. Shy Turtle officially eliminated himself after being involved in that wreck. So short of something extremely spectacular happening at the end of the race, he could still get back into it, but only if your top 5 in the points all were to finish dead last or finish out the race in the last spots on the racetrack. So don't see that happening. Mechanical failures could rear their ugly head, though. Man, yeah, 3rd time's the charm getting this race in. It's crazy. Cannon Gage running 2nd. He's trying to chase down Snake Plissken for the lead. Race has been going by pretty smoothly here. Like I said, smoother than butter on a dinner roll. And if we have any more wrecks or cautions, you'll be able to keep up with it here live, here on the Sigma Racing Network. Thank you everyone for staying in it with me here today. I've been trying to get this race in since 8 o'clock this morning. Yeah, it'll be a full 8-hour trek here getting this race in, but at least we're getting the most respectable version here, the best version that keeps us from crowning the wrong winner here today. This race actually comes out the wash with a good mixture here. We had some different leaders up the front. Krista Cower led for a while, as did Shy Turtle for 55 laps. Then we also had, looks like Joey Johnson led for a brief stint. Cannon Gage has led 3 laps to get the bonus point that goes with it. And Cannon Gage making a late race pit stop here, and that might be scheduled. Green flag pit stop should be in the mix here, so the 2 having to pit, that's going to shake your points up as they run, because if he's going the undercut route, this means he's good to go to the finish. He's going to try to pit early and hope for no cautions. So we will see what comes of it if everyone else starts pitting after that, or if we get a late race caution, it could trap Cannon Gage a lap down. So he was doing everything he needed to in the right spot at the right time. That moves everyone else up a spot or 2, as Snake Plissken continues to stay up front leading this race. And let me crank in the numbers here to see where that puts our point scenario. This might open it wide up again, at least for now. And especially if we were to get a caution any minute here, which I'm not trying to jinx it, but I might end up jinxing it by mentioning all the possibilities that could unfold here. Seems to me that Cannon Gage has fallen back to 20. We'll say 24th for now. Sebastian moves his way up into 4th. Snake Plissken still leads. Santi Messi moves up to 6th. Shy Turtle's going to be still 34th here. Joey Johnson 3rd. Ralph Oberstadt up to 2nd. Big move for him. Lefty Turner up to 9th. Campbell Marsh 25th. Chase Kovacic 32nd. 33rd Krista Cower. And Cam Jordan still out there running in 20th. So if we update those points, Snake Plissken takes over the lead. 1,788 points over Sebastian Galloway Jr., who has 1,773. And minus 2, 1,771 is Sebastian falls back to 5th here. And that, like I said, opens things wide up here. 57 points, max points. That puts us within 1,731. Which, surprisingly, still only includes your top 3 in the points. As Santi Messi needs to make up some more points here to get back in the title conversation. As long as Snake Plissken is up front leading this thing, he's only going to keep 3 contenders for that title ahead. Surprised it didn't swap things around a little bit harder there, but still plenty of laps. We are down now to 103 laps to go. Cannon Gage, though, with fresh tires. Watch him fly around the racetrack. He's already back on the lead lap, so if a caution came out, it would be no hassle for him. So he took the undercut here, pitting as soon as he could. That means once this long green flag run comes to an end, he might be out there hanging on for dear life while the others are flying through the field to catch him. Ralph Oberstadt in 2nd, Sebastian back up to 4th, Joey Johnson in 3rd. But Cannon Gage has worked his way up to 17th, and he's about 2 seconds to 3 seconds a lap faster at the moment. This is the strategy I was expecting to see here from Moses Lake Motorplex. With the degradation, the tires falling off so hard here, someone can make a killing if they come into pit stops early and like really early, burning those undercuts here. Your leader's definitely on the gambling side here now, knowing that Cannon Gage has gotten back to the lead lap. That might be the best opportunity to pull down pit road, get your fresh tires, get your full tank of gas, and push it to the finish line here today. 110 laps is the window, so we're in the window for that final pit stop if they so desire. And there we go, Snake Plissken not wasting any more time. He's going to pull down, but staying out and getting the bonus points for leading the lap. That is the number 3 there of Ralph Oberstadt, your new leader at the moment. A couple drivers maybe playing the gamble game here to get some laps led. Ralph's definitely going to stay out. A little bit further back, the 82 of Joey Johnson's led some laps here today. But it looks like Sebastian Galloway Jr. already decided to pit as well, so not as many of them risking it here, knowing that the sooner you get on pit road, the sooner you get back out there on fresh tires and start flying through the field yet again. Staying green, I'm amazed. 99 to go, and we might see a long green flag stint to end the race here from Moses Lake Motorplex. Back out right behind the 3 is the 81 of Snake Plissken, but he's got a long ways to go to catch Cannon Gage, who will likely rotate around to be your race leader once everyone pits. 2.3 seconds off the pace. Ralph Oberstadt is that much slower than his fastest lap time here today, but he's getting to enjoy some fresh air up front, leading some laps. Lap traffic with fresher tires is going to blow by him though here. Billy Lovejoy up to 2nd. And it's really hard to tell where everyone's going to shake out, and especially difficult until everyone pits, because we don't know what's going to happen here for a while. One thing is for certain, the 2 of Cannon Gage is back up to 5th. That means only 4 cars ahead of him not yet to pit. Lefty Turner, Santi Messi, Billy Lovejoy, and Ralph Oberstadt all have to still pit here before the end of the race. And would you look at that, Snake Plissken is going to get his lap back. He's running in 9th. 1 lap down, but now he's back on the lead lap in 9th place. Also with fresh tires, let's keep our eyes on the 82, the 95, and even the 8 here of Campbell Marsh. They all have fresh tires. They've got the good, quick Bridgestone tires on these Bridge to Cup race cars here, and here comes Sebastian Galloway Jr. getting by both of them. Now moving into 10th. All he's going to have between him and the lead lap, it looks to be, is the leader at this point. So Sebastian jumps up to 10th, and if he gets by the 3 here, he'll be back on the lead lap and figuratively racing towards catching up 4th place, Cannon Gage. So that's going to put him back to about 6th, whereas right about where he was. Eli the Wolf on a unique strategy call here gets him up to what will be about 5th place. Sarah Taylor may have to pit. Yeah, she's down to 30.189 second lap, so she needs to pit. Pliskin has pitted. And 6th place belonging to the 41 of Sam Vital. Fresh tires on that 41 machine. Number 1's going to have to pit. He's running 30-second laps. And there you have Santi Messi still having to pit as well. But it's going to rotate around to Cannon Gage, your new leader, here in just a moment. Ralph Oberstadt still holding on for dear life, not yet pitting. He's about to be passed by the 2 under normal circumstances here. Even without a pit stop, the 2 is going to blow by the 3 here and takes the lead back. Kind of a dangerous game being played here by Ralph Oberstadt. Oh, an engine failure for the 82 of Joey Johnson. The 82 with a clutch failure. Blows her up, brings her down pit road. That is the end of the title defense there, or the title fight at least. There's no, you're not defending it, but for sure hunting it down, and takes the biggest hit here today with a clutch failure on that 82 machine. And so it looks like he'll probably be credited with 30th here today. I am worried about yellows. We are not going to throw a yellow for the risk of messing up this race. So we're going to let it stay green. And yeah, your new race leader, it's going to pivot around to the number 2 machine of Cannon Gage. Let's see if he can hold on with the tires that he's got. But let's score those points up as they run right now. So briefly between the transition of points there, Cannon Gage gets that lead back, has nearly a 29-point lead. 39-point lead over Snake Pliskin, and about a 40-point lead over Sebastian Galloway Jr. So a lot of these cars on old tires right now, they are getting freight trained by the cars with newer tires. It's very, very notable, noticing the difference between the tires. Ralph is going to try to hang on here and wait to make his pit stop until the very end. That way he can have a huge advantage on the tires. So, interesting strategy call here from the number 3 team. Sebastian works his way back up to 5th here. A lot of lap traffic all throughout the field. Philip Purpura moves into 6th. Santi Messi followed back to 7th. Eli the Wolf in 8th. 9th place belonging to Tim Morse. 10th place Campbell Marsh. And that leaves us with 10 cars on the lead lap. As you can see, the 2 catching up, try and put Campbell Marsh a lap down here. But already, Cannon Gage has already fallen off about a full second on his lap times. So just wait and see where these final pit stops fall might really determine who can get the win here today. Did Cannon Gage pit too early, or did he pull the perfect strategy to try and just stretch it out here? He's got a 12.6 second advantage over Alex Sanvital, but the biggest concern will be when Ralph Oberstadt pits. If that factors in here, we'll see, as long as it stays green. Sebastian in 5th. Snake Plissken running in 3rd. Santi Messi is back to 9th now. Ralph Oberstadt falls to 4th. Lefty Turner in 21st after what I imagine was a pit stop. Campbell Marsh running in 9th. And Cam Jordan holding on for 20th. Snake Plissken on the move brings him into a tighter battle here for the top of the points. .22 points separating Plissken from Gage. And if you're looking at Gage to Galloway, it's 34 points. And it is 98 points back for Ralph Oberstadt to Cannon Gage. So Ralph needs the win worse than anything, but also needs a little bit of bad luck from a couple other drivers to really seal the deal here today. And so it's really what he's doing. He's trying to stretch this to turn into a race winning move rather than just settle for a top 5, top 10. They knew the points rolling in here that they needed to do something out of the box, and that's exactly what they're doing. As he goes a lap down here, the only way that this works is to stay green all the way to the checkered flag. These alternating strategies all throughout the field here, it could totally turn this race upside down by the end. So rolling into this race, we definitely knew we were going to see some more folks getting eliminated. It sucks that it had to happen on race wrecks and mechanical failures between Shy Turtle and Joey Johnson now, one of which wrecked out and the other one had a mechanical failure that made them DNF here today. The big question is, when does Ralph Oberstadt pit? Will he wait till about like 60 to go? Maybe 50 to go? And how much longer can Cannon Gage run it? If the others that pit come out with fresher tires, will Cannon Gage change up his plan a little bit to try and counteract the moves being made on the racetrack. So 75 laps to go. Whatever pit stops you do make now get you to the finish no matter what. And everyone should be just about there, but Ralph Oberstadt pushing the strategy line a lot. And his car down into the 31-second bracket. That is... That's 4 seconds off of his fast lap time there. He's coming down pit road now. It was a matter of time, and he had to make it sooner than later. But the big thing here, as he comes down pit road, he is 38.25 seconds back. At the line there, yeah, about 45 seconds. So, and once he makes his pit stop, you're going to lose another, yeah, roughly probably a minute. Probably 30 seconds, because you can come back out nearly with the lead. Pitting sometimes here. So, as we look at it, 45, add 30 to it. That's going to be 75 seconds. So a minute and 15 seconds will be the difference. If he is knocking off laps that are consistently 2 seconds faster than Cannon Gage each lap, and you got to figure in relatively Cannon Gage's laps are getting slower and slower, while Ralph's is staying pretty consistently in the 27-second bracket. So on average, I'd say about 2.5 seconds gained each lap. Multiply that by what's left, 70 laps to go. He would make up 175 seconds of the 115 seconds that I was wagering here. Now, would you look at that? He's 2 laps down right now, 1 minute and 15 seconds out of the lead. So I was pretty darn close on the guesstimation there. And so it's dangerous, and he's got to run it all the way to the finish here. No cautions. These lap times are going to be qualifying lap times, and he might be able to catch a break with more folks having to decide and pit at the end here. But with 69 laps to go, Ralph has made his bed. He's got what he's got, and he's got to make it work for him. Stay out of trouble and keep the yellows clear for the rest of the evening. His last lap time was a 27.7, which was a full second faster than Cannon Gage. This next lap for Cannon Gage will be a little bit slower. Probably be about a 29-second lap. And so Ralph will be about almost 2 seconds faster on this last lap. 1.5. So we're getting there. And he's got lap traffic, so that's going to factor in as well. Snake Plissken in second, Alex Sanvital in third, Sebastian Galloway Jr. in fourth, Philip Purpura in fifth. That is your top 5. They're all on the lead lap. Sixth on back, trapped a lap down at the moment. Good old-fashioned short track racing as it's meant to be. You never know how these things are going to play out, and today we are seeing good old-fashioned short track action here, the way it was meant to be. So it looks like he's about 12 seconds back from the lead, so he can get one of his laps back as he's flying through the field here. Most of these spots are for position, as he is 2 laps down racing amongst them. Stay out of trouble, though. That is the last thing he needs, is to make a mistake and bring out a caution. He's going to get around both of those drivers there and have his sights set on moving. Sebastian Galloway Jr. gets up to third here as he passes the 41 for position. And about 11 seconds back now as the number 3 trying to storm back to the front. 1.5 seconds. So we're seeing a consistent 1.5 second gain each lap for Ralph Oberstadt. It takes about, I'd say about 30 laps for the tires to truly fall off the cliff. And so when you fall off that cliff, though, those lap times become more excruciatingly slow. So 27.4 to Cannon Gage's 29.1. Here he is going around Snake Plissken, which is a check mark of 9 seconds back from Cannon Gage. So Ralph went from 12 seconds down to 9 seconds back of getting his 1 lap back here. Of the 1 minute 15 seconds, he's already knocked it down to 1 minute 7 seconds, .791. And moves it up into 1 minute 6 second territory. 1 minute 6.4, and that's for position right there. Sarah Taylor in 21st, as he's going to blow by her here. One minute 3 seconds back for Ralph Oberstadt. This lap by, he is now 1 minute and still 1 minute 3, I guess. Not quite faster that last lap. Or it just took a little longer. It's now 1 minute 1 second. It took a while for it to update there on my live tracker. I'm going to save it up to this point just so we've got something to show for in case. 30 of 31, part 1. $59 laps to go. And for Cannon Gage, his lap times are down to the 29.3 second lap bracket. He's almost 2 to 3 seconds off of his fast lap time here. Sebastian in the 28.8s. He is actually the fastest of your top 3 at the moment, and he's closing that gap in on Cannon Gage. Just like that, Ralph Oberstadt gets 1 of his laps back. Blows by the 2 of Cannon Gage, and now is only 1 lap down. Still all the way back in 21st, but clear track with him up ahead. He's going to be able to blow by most of that. He'll be back up into 6th or better before you know it. .1 seconds back is Snake Plissken in 2nd. 8.4 seconds back is Sebastian in 3rd. As your race leader, Cannon Gage is hitting that brick wall pretty hard here. We'll watch the resurgence here of the 81, Snake Plissken, as he tries to close the gap in on your race leader. 107 laps led here today by Snake Plissken. Those honors just about give him led most laps here today. Actually, they do, as Cannon Gage will not have enough ground to cover here to gain laps needed for that honor. But he's up front leading. 38 laps led so far for Cannon Gage with 55 laps to go. Snake Plissken trying to reel him in on very unique strategies all throughout the field here. A few drivers might have to pit in the closing laps so they get the fresh tires and try to storm away with the win here. While on the quite contrary side, Ralph Oberstadt has fresher tires, and he is laying down some fast laps right now, trying to make up for 2 laps down in the race. So 5 seconds back, Snake Plissken has reeled him in. He's about a ½ second faster each lap on Cannon Gage. This is about the point in time where we saw most of these drivers pit. Their last pit stop came when they got to this period of slow lap times. Snake reels in a little bit closer yet again, now down to 4 seconds and change on Cannon Gage, 4.7. Sebastian Galloway Jr. 6.6 seconds back in third. It's been a spectacular mess here today, but third time's the charm. We're finally getting this race in the books. This was the race I'd been hoping for since 8 o'clock this morning, and we're finally getting it. It's finally working the way it's supposed to, so I don't know what things I changed to really mess up the whole algorithm of things, but I've learned something else, that you can clear those black flags and give them clearance so that they don't have to give up their top 5 run for something that I just don't understand why the track's doing. We'll keep our eyes on this battle, since this is what will be the battle for the race lead until pit stops may or may not happen. Snake's having a hard time getting around this 10 car. Closes the gap down to 4.1 seconds, and actually car's starting to slow down a little bit here. Sebastian reeling in the 81. 81's going to try to run it in there on the 10. Get around the 10 and set sail now. 3.8 seconds back from your race leader, Cannon Gage. .50 laps remaining. Boy golly, we're going to get through it here. Ralph Oberstadt has worked his way back up to 15th. He is only 44 seconds back of the race lead now. Cannon Gage is down to a 29.9 second lap, which is nearly 30 seconds. Ralph, his last lap was a 27.9, so he is killing it. 2 seconds a lap faster than Cannon Gage. .9 seconds. Snake Plissken could still get up there and steal the lead away from Cannon Gage, as it seems like on this strategy he's actually got a little bit faster car than Cannon Gage does. Cannon Gage has fallen down into the 32nd lap bracket. And don't look now, but the 3 of Ralph Oberstadt closing in on this group up front again. Making his pit stop here with about 48 to go. It is the number 2 of Cannon Gage. 45 to go. This will give him fresh tires, and he'll be the one turning laps quicker than the rest of the field by about 2 seconds. But it's a risky gamble all day. This strategy is very unique, very different, and only time we ever see it come into play is usually here at Moses Lake Motorplex. Sebastian might have the opportunity to decide what to do here. The longer he stays out, the better that 2 is going to get an advantage on him. So it might be a valiant effort to come down pit road ASAP here and get back on the winning strategy as the 2 gets by him here. But what's wild, Ralph Oberstadt doesn't get very far ahead of the number 2. Cannon Gage is right behind him. So falling 1 lap back, Ralph Oberstadt on old tires is likely to be freight trained by the number 2 here of Cannon Gage. And they will be setting the pace here. Ralph Oberstadt, once everyone pits, could be your race leader unless we get a caution here, which would trap everyone a lap down that's not yet back on the lead lap. For Ralph, this is a gamble, and it's going to be a tight gamble, as the table has kind of flip-flopped here, and the 2 is going to be about a full second faster each lap. Not even going to be a threat. The 2 of Cannon Gage is going to blow by him here, and he's never even going to get to see the opportunity to lead a lap. So falls back in behind Cannon Gage, but could still be a top 5 run for the 3 team. Going to help with the lap traffic here and kind of slice and dice with the 2. Keeping it interesting. 3 wide with 2 drivers for position there. 40 laps to go, though. There's way too many laps left in this race for that to make it a winning move here. Sebastian now up front leading the race, gets his first lap led here today. How much longer do you stay out and get fresher tires? I don't think the difference is going to make much here, as they're probably not going to have enough of an advantage with 38 laps to go to actually make this matter much. At least for the 95, maybe getting out there while the lead traffic kind of slowed up the 2 here of Cannon Gage. See where he shakes out in relation to the number 2 machine here after pit stops, but I think we need to look for the 81 of Snake Plissken after he made his pit stop. He's not anywhere near your leader, so he's almost, whoa, and just side swipes the 45 there. And 95's pitting now. Made his pit stop. He's already done. Now that he's back out, he can set those fast laps and try to close the gap again. .2 seconds back after a pit stop. More pit stop takers there. Wow. Cannon Gage is taken off. He has a big resounding lead now over even Ralph Oberstadt. Full 6-second advantage. Snake Plissken back 12 seconds. Big loss during the pit strategy there. The undercut, taking the early pit stop for Cannon Gage was the game changer there. Sebastian, though, did knock it down to 16.6 seconds, but Cannon Gage really nailing it with a quick lap time of 27.6. Sebastian's going to have to be consistently faster every lap, 27.5. Cannon Gage is 27.6. And he'll have to do that 160 times, basically. We only have 33 laps to go. So there are a few drivers yet to pit. 29 of Tim Morse is not yet pitted. Nor has Billy Lovejoy, who's just slowly rolling around at 35 seconds. Okay, he went to pit road. That's why he had a long 38-second lap. Ralph is trying to hold on for a podium finish, but not sure he's going to be able to maintain that. Could maybe maintain a top 5, but even then, Sebastian's on his way too, so. But through the transition of pit stops here, it rotates back around to Cannon Gage, your race leader. It'll be Ralph Oberstadt in second, Snake Plissken in third. Alex Sanvital and Sebastian Galloway Jr. would be your top 5 after the last of the pit stops do unfold here. Looks like Tim Morse would be the one. Of course, anywhere during the last 30 laps here, we could have a late race caution. You never know. Snake was quicker that last lap. .4 to Cannon Gage and is 27.7. Now, Tim Moore's still staying out there. Man, he is laying a goose egg for those lap times. 29.1. He's going to fall behind Snake Plissken here before long. Yeah, Plissken gets by for second by the 29. Internet connection's all wonky. It is. We are almost done here, finally. It's astonishing why it's fought me so hard here today. I wish everything could have went off without a hitch, but holy crap, dude. Holy crap is the best way to sum it up here today. So strategy-wise, I don't think there's anyone else that can really steal the show here. Ralph Oberstadt, he's actually fallen back to 6th. He's going to try to stretch it as long as he can to the finish line here now, because that's all he's got left to do. 84 makes a pit stop. At this point, it's kind of no man's land once you're down to 21 laps left to go. That I don't think anyone's going to make up the time in about 20 laps. It almost took Ralph Oberstadt about 50 laps to make up that distance on fresher tires, but even Snake Plissken is not able to really reel in the number 2 here of Cannon Gage. Sebastian in third. He's still the faster of the 3, but put himself further back by staying out as long as he did. So, short of a caution, I think you're looking at your top three. It's probably going to be Cannon Gage, Pliskin, and Galloway Jr., but Snake Pliskin could fall back again here into the grasps of Sebastian Galloway Jr., and second place would be oh so sweeter than finishing third. But for Snake, he's got the max points that he could have gotten here today without a win. Leading the most laps, running up front. A second with led most laps is still a good day. And just like that, he's starting to reel in Cannon Gage again. 18 laps to go. I wonder if Cannon is dealing with some lap traffic. 9.8 seconds. 9.81. 14.45. And at the moment, it's all on the shoulders of Cannon Gage to get the job done here. When we came here in the Cup Series this year, the guy that's leading the points in the Cup side of things ended up winning the race here on strategy call. That was Taden Berggren. Well, rolling in here today, your points leader, Cannon Gage. All he had left on his mind were the last two races of the season and trying to get a win and trying to secure the title sooner than later. Title is not going to be secured here today at Moses Lake Motorplex. It will go down to Tri-City Raceway. And he's going to have to be careful not to make a mistake there because it could be anyone's game still. Needs to steer clear of making any mistakes here at Moses Lake too, as he's got lap traffic still to deal with for 15 laps. Staying out of trouble and not getting in a wreck to eliminate his big gain here today is the main priority. But as we're down to 15 laps left to go, Snake Pliskin really not catching the two as quickly as he hoped he could. But it ain't over until the fat lady sings, and I think she's getting her throat cleared out here to sing that final note because it's getting right down to the end of it. Lap traffic, though, is not doing Cannon Gage any favors. And if any mistakes were to be made, it would be dealing with the lap traffic like he is right here. Staying green so far. If we had to go to a caution, it would probably not go over so well for Cannon Gage because the cars behind him are much faster. A Snake Pliskin win would almost be certain at that point if we got a late race caution. Go ahead and maybe even sprinkle in a surprise Sebastian Galloway Jr. top of the field finish if we had a caution here. But so far, so good. Green, longest green flag run here of the evening for Moses Lake Motorplex, and they're trying to close it out with style. 8.38 seconds back is Snake Pliskin. He's still dialing in quicker laps here, not dealing with the slow pace of the lap traffic like Cannon Gage is. They're both dealing with lap traffic, but Cannon Gage has got the harder end of that stick. Oil leak, the 81 oil leak. We're going to have a quick caution for oil cleanup. 81 of Snake Pliskin leaking oil after running down the race lead. And that's a tough break because he drops out from second place here. An oil leak from second place. Has to pull down pit road here as we're going to go into overtime. Well, not quite. We're going to be 10 laps from the finish here, but that changes everything. Snake Pliskin could be locking himself out of the title hunt going into Tri-City Raceway. I think he's going to stay on the lead lap. The worst he's going to do is fall back to 5th here. Quick caution saves him. Miracle big miracle. But for Sebastian, licking his chops, knowing that this may be his one and only chance to win a race before the end of the season here. Just in case we need them, green-white checkers enabled for the conclusion here. And the lights should go off on the pace car when they come by this time, so it'll be a 4-lap shootout. Your top 3 here, your top 4. Inside line is going to drop down here on the, once the lights turn off. Your lapped cars will break. No, they won't, because we're under 5 to go. So it's up to your top 4 here, really. The very far shot, maybe Billy Lovejoy from 5th, Tim Moore 6th, 7th place, Jonah Burridge, 8th place, Ralph Oberstadt. Those are all long shots, but if we get a couple cautions here, maybe a green-white checker could help them out. So, does Cannon Gage have the pace to close this down here today? We're back rolling here. 4 laps to go. Finale on the way next week or next month sometime. Sebastian, all he has to do is try to get around this 2 for a race win. Seems easy enough. He's got the faster car. We've known it here for the last stretch of this run. But Cannon Gage wants to get that win and tamp his points lead ever so more to grow that advantage going into the finale. For Sebastian, it could be a big change here, getting the race win versus finishing second, as that would probably put him within 20 points of the overall lead going into the finale. Last laps were nearly identical, 28.801 to a 28.801. I think tires get warmed up here on the restart. Sebastian just needs to figure it out, make the right move here. As Cannon's car is starting to wake up on the restart, I don't know. 2 laps to go. They'll see the white flag next time, or a checkered. Or a caution. If there's no white flag, then it's extra laps here. But at the moment, Cannon Gage holding off the 95, Sebastian Galloway Jr. And look at the 95 going high here. He's going to try to carry that momentum. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. The 2 keeps it rolling up the hill here. The quicker lap was the 2 of Cannon Gage yet again. And Cannon Gage looks like he's going to get the job done here today. Snake Plissken, after the oil leak, was able to bounce back for a top 10 up to 8th, it looks like. But your points leader rolling into the finale builds a bigger gap. The 2 of Cannon Gage gets the win here tonight from Moses Lake Motorplex. Sebastian needed a couple more laps, I think, for the car to get under him here. Just comes home in second. A big change, though. I mean, it would have been probably a P2 without the caution even. But, man, the 28 jumped up to 3rd. Purpura 4th. Sam Vital 5th. Jonah Burridge 6th. 7th, Lefty Turner. 8th place, Snake Plissken. Max points did not get achieved here today, although he led the most laps. 11th for Finlay Herwig. 12th for Ralph Oberstadt. Well, that was a brutal one here today, folks, but we got it in. Save it as soon as I can here so that it's officially official. The end of the longest race of the season in Bridge to Cup. Race 30 of 31. The title very much still up for grabs. It's going to be as tight as it can be, especially with a win here today from Cannon Gage, your points leader, continuing to get points that others can't get. That title is going to be down to 3 drivers. It'll be between Sebastian, Snake, and Cannon for the overall title, with one more race looming around the corner here. The extra race added on. Maybe that's the curse, that I added an extra race to the season, that this one was going to give us problems here today. But we made it. Let me look real quick here at getting points scored as they finished. So did not lead most, but Cannon Gage wins it. Sebastian brings it home second, and he did, in fact, lead a lap. Snake Plissken, even though with an 8th, he could still salvage some points here today. Santi Messi out for the count in the title, but was able to bring it home 17th here today. A couple of your drivers that were knocked out from mechanicals and wrecks. Lefty Turner bounced back to 7th. Campbell Marsh 16th. Cam Jordan 65 machine brought it home 23rd. So I can show you guys that here in a minute as well. So, live points updated towards the bottom there. As you can see, we get to number 1 in the lineup here. Should be Cannon Gage, your points leader. And he's got 1805. Anyone with under 1748 is eliminated. And there you have it. Shy Turtle eliminated. Ralph Oberstadt, Santi Messi, Joey Johnson, all knocked out of contention after Moses Lake. So, a 3-car fight for the championship. And the points are pretty tight there. Sebastian, 1781, 1772, so 24 points back for Sebastian and 33 points back for Snake. Nothing is undoable. All they got to do is have a little bit of luck and have it go their way at the finale. So, one more race coming at you when we get it, and this one is finally under wraps. So, took me 3 times and actually starting the race without a broadcast to make it work right, but I guess you got to do what you got to do with this game sometimes. Okay. Well, thanks again, folks, for tuning in. Hopefully it wasn't too much of a hassle here today keeping up with it, but we got it in.